Alright, welcome back guys. Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys my weekly Walking Dead Wednesday video. Today, instead of doing a regular discussion video, I'm going to do my review of The Walking Dead issue 177, New World Order Part 3. Now, if that's something interesting, want to know my thoughts on, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon. That way you won't be able to miss any more of my future Walking Dead Wednesday videos or Walking Dead reviews moving forward. Also, I do have a bit of comic news I want to ask you guys about. Just get everybody's general consensus on something. So please stay tuned to the end of the video so I can get your general consensus on something about regarding some comic stuff on my channel. I want to know you guys' thoughts. I have a question for you guys, so please stay tuned to the end of this video so you know what I'm asking and can so I can get your input on some comic book news I might do on my channel. But let's begin. Now, before we get into this review, I just remind everybody who's a big comic collector or comic fan or just fan of The Walking Dead in general that there is a Governor variant cover done for this issue. So if you haven't gotten that and you're interested in it, I highly recommend going, checking out your local shop or checking out eBay. Try to get this cover. I really like this cover. It's probably one of my favorites so far. So just want to remind everybody about that. So just if you haven't picked it up already or you're interested in it, I highly recommend picking it up at your local comic shop. Look on eBay, Amazon, see what you can do. But let's get into the regular review as usual. So we start this issue off back in Alexandria where Rick is talking to Mikey. And they're kind of discussing their feelings and, because Mikey's struggling after losing his mom and, Rick's struggling after losing Andrea. And I kind of like that dynamic there. And I guess one of the Alexandrians, I think her name is Annie, told him to, just write his feelings down in, like, poems or whatever. And he finds that that's kind of helped him through this. So I kind of like that. I think if they had introduced a character like Mikey recently, that this could really help with kind of not replacing Carl, but giving Rick kind of something to do without Carl, if you understand what I mean. I wish they had introduced someone like Mikey recently in the show, because I think, like I said, it would really help right now with the loss of Carl on the show. But I really like that, and plus, even though it was just like a couple panels of Rick, I really liked it, because I was really hoping we didn't just spend the entire 6 months of the New World Order arc in the Commonwealth. I was hoping we'd get some glimpses back, which we did, so I was glad we got that. But even though it was not much, I still enjoyed it, and even though it kind of wasn't anything I was excited about, I was still glad we got some seeing what's going on back at Alexandria and the Hilltop. Speaking of the Hilltop, we get a glimpse of what's going on there as well. Eduardo has been relieved from shift duty and goes to fix someone's, like, I guess, weapon, or I don't know, maybe something to do with the platform at the watchtower, but that's beside the point. He goes to get something to fix it, and he kind of walks in on Maggie and Dante, having some fun in the shed, and, he kind of runs away in embarrassment, kind of, that he walked in on them, and you get some scenes of Maggie and Dante, and Dante kind of doesn't understand why Maggie feels uncomfortable or embarrassed about it, and she kind of explains that from what I can understand, that she just kind of doesn't feel right doing this, even though she likes being with Dante. She doesn't feel right doing it due to Gwen. She still has strong feelings for Gwen, and feels like doing this is kind of like betraying her love to Gwen. So I like that. I like how Gwen's still involved in the story and how he's still having an effect on her now, even years later into the apocalypse after his death. So I really like that. And then Dante leaves, and, we head back over to the Commonwealth. So back at the Commonwealth, we meet these two new characters, Sebastian and Kayla. And as similar to Maggie and Dante, everybody's getting busy in the world of The Walking Dead this issue, I guess. And they're busy like Maggie and Dante. And now this is something I'm interested in, and I find it interesting, and I think it works for the comic, but I think it wouldn't work for the TV show, because as they're busy doing their thing, a group of walkers come up on them, and like I said, this is where it would work for the comic probably, but not for TV, and a walker sneaks up on them. Now, you're telling me they didn't hear the walker coming, because, like, think about it, the walker growls, makes all these noises. How did they not hear the walker coming? I think it was just like a jump scare kind of thing, and it just kind of doesn't make sense. Like, shouldn't they have known it was coming? But I guess, I don't know, maybe it's just done for a little more surprise boost Mercer's introduction. But I like it anyway. I find it interesting anyway. And we get, as it's about to attack Sebastian, throwing knife or spear, I think it was, pierces the zombie's head, killing it. And we get our first introduction to Officer Mercer. So we meet Officer Mercer, and Sebastian, we find out, is the governor's son. And he kind of chews out Mercer for not protecting him and not protecting his life, pretty much, because he values himself as high profile person, I guess. And Mercer tells him, well, I'm trying to do my best. I'm only one person. And we get this scene where he's saying, there was more than just one, because Sebastian's yelling at him, you couldn't just handle one walker. And we get this really cool scene. I really like it. I think it's probably one of my favorite scenes since like the end of the Whisper War arc, where we got that giant herd of walkers. And I really like this scene where we got Mercer and Sebastian on the top of the hill. When you look down and you got all these walkers down below. I really like that scene. But I like what Mercer's saying, because like he's only one dude and he can't protect this guy if there's like a giant herd of walkers and he's just one person. So I like that. I like how they kind of address that kind of thing. It was interesting to me as well. Then we get caught back up with Michonne and Elodie, and Elodie has taken Michonne back to her apartment, and they kind of reconnect. And this is something I'm 50-50 on, because I like how we got some backstory on Elodie, that what happened to her sister and her dad. And I like how they kind of had made it where the people she was with were similar to the claimers, or whatever you want to call them. And she was the people that raped her, and Michonne has gone through similar things with the governor, or at least the old governor. But I wish they kind of would have cut it down for a couple pages. I feel like we didn't need as much as we got. And I feel like some of it was not necessary. I don't know. It could just be me, but I wish they just trimmed it down and we could have gotten some more scenes of the governor interviewing other members of Michonne's group, like Eugene. I would love to have seen Magna's interview, because we don't know much about her, and I feel like now the princess is overshadowing her, and that's kind of annoying. And because I want to know more about Magna, and I feel like the princess is overshadowing her. And I really, really hope we get maybe see more of their interviews next issue. And I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you think they should have cut down some of Michonne and Elodie's reunion scenes, or do you think what we got was okay? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Then we return back to the governor's office, and she says that once Michonne's done, they'll be free to leave or stay. Now, this is something that, again, annoys me and is kind of frustrating, because from what she's saying is she's already interviewed the rest of the group. And I really wish we would have gotten some of their interviews. Like, that really kind of bummed me out if that's true. But moving on, you got Sebastian coming back in, and he's complaining about Mercer, who he's saying didn't do a good job protecting him. And at first she takes his sides, but then when Mercer comes in, she asks him what happened, and he explains, your son only asks for one person to be on his security detail, and there's only so much I can do when he wants to go far out. And he can't take on a whole herd of walkers. And I understand that. I agree with him. But then the governor chews him out too for not protecting her son. And it's like, come on, the guy asked for him to be the only guy on his security team. Do you expect him really to take on a whole herd of walkers? That's ridiculous. A regular person, Rick Grimes, wouldn't be able to take on a whole herd of walkers by himself. And they think that this guy's going to be able to. It's just so stupid. She should have taken Mercer's side on this. I think what this does, I think, and I like what they did with it, it shows that the governor is flawed. She's not the perfect person that we think she is. She doesn't make the best decisions at sometimes. And I really like that, because not everybody in the world is a perfect person. So I really like what they did with her character right here. So Mercer heads into the locker room like the governor told them. And we meet this new character, George, and the two of them are blowing off steam about how annoying it is to protect the governor's son and how annoying he is in general. And we find out, I guess, that they're planning, like, maybe a little bit of a rebellion and overthrowing the governor. And as they're talking about that, we get Sadiq, who walks in on them. Now, this is something I'm a little bit interested in, because, I don't know, it just feels like a repeat of the whole Alexandria thing, where Glenn heard Nicholas saying that he was gonna overthrow Rick or whatever. So I find that a little bit repetitive. I don't know. It could just be me. Especially, it reminds me a lot more of the Eugene walking in on Carter from the TV show. I probably would have liked it more if they did it on the TV show and it was like, how they've been doing, like paying homage to past seasons and stuff. I would have liked that better, but I don't know. I think it's interesting and I wonder where it's going to go, but I just find it a little bit of a repeat, like I said, of the whole Alexandria story arc. But I'm interested to see where it goes. I think it's interesting. But the only thing I find interesting, though, and find weird, is that Sadiq was just allowed to walk into this room by himself. I mean, he's a new person. They don't barely even know him. Maybe for like a couple hours, maybe half a day. Why would they let him wander around this place by himself? I think with when how Lance was talking about how they value their security, they like to be careful about people. Like you'd think they'd maybe like have someone walking around with them, escorting him to places instead of just letting him walk around and do whatever he wants. It just seems a little odd to me. But maybe it's easy to explain next issue. I don't know, but I'm interested to see what happens. Like I said, I think this is a great issue, but I think there could have been a little bit polishing up and made it better. I think it's a decent issue, good issue, but I don't know. It just kind of felt a little flat with the whole Michonne thing. Some things that just wouldn't happen in the comic, like with the Walker sneaking up on them, and just I don't know. The Mercer thing is interesting, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I just hope it doesn't end up being something where it's a repeat of Alexandria, but I'm interested to see where it ends up going, and I'm excited for what is to come in the world of the Walking Dead comic series. So I'm gonna let you think in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on the Walking Dead issue 177. Again, if you like my thoughts, like my reviews, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss any future reviews on any more Walking Dead reviews or any other topics of the Walking Dead, especially Walking Dead Wednesdays. I do a Walking Dead Wednesday video every Wednesday, unless there's something else I want to talk about. But so stay tuned for that. Now, as for the question I said I need to ask you guys regarding comic videos on my channel, as you guys probably have noticed, I had stopped doing most anticipated comics of the week, mostly due to last week I was busy, and the week before that, and this week, there just wasn't enough to make a top 3 to 5 most anticipated comics of the week. So my question is, are you guys interested in my most anticipated comics of the week video? Would you like me to see me continue them, and see what I'm picking up each week and what I'm excited about each week? Let me know in the comment section down below, because I'd like to get your input. Do you like the most anticipated comics of the week? And let me know, do you still want me to do them? And just give me my general thoughts, like, should I keep doing them? If not, I might just keep doing them on my Twitter, and you can follow that. I have it linked in the description box down below. But just let me know. This has been Vision with Blind Entertainment, and I will see you next time.